Okay, that was really funny. Hi.
We here? Hello, welcome to episode 54 of PinTech Live. Oh, I can see Kyle in both cameras.
Oh.
Guys, we're doing Data East Simpsons today. Let's do a quick mic check. Can everyone talk a little bit? How do I sound?
You sound great.
There's Crystal.
You look like you're in a TV.
Are you trapped? Do you need help?
You sound like you're in a TV.
Let's see
Send help.
what the chat says. Crystal, you talk. How was your day today?
Day's pretty good. I'm here now, and I'm especially excited about that. So,
Nice.
A+.
How does she sound? How does Kyle sound? Kyle, what did you eat today for lunch?
I originally had
Put him on the spot.
approximately
Oh, God.
30 almonds, but then Steve brought me a sandwich.
I can't hear him. I can't hear Kyle.
You can't hear me. My mic's on. Is it not coming through? To no
Is he
one?
talking?
I can hear you. Sound great.
Oh, God. Why is this moving? Oh, you're locked.
What happened? Hello?
It was too loud.
Uh-oh.
The motor's
Kyle and
too
Crystal
loud.
are too quiet. Can we also move the camera on Kyle, the blue tripod stand, to frame his shot better? Would be awesome.
To see me? Ooh. Hello.
You see this camera glitching? Emoto
what?
is a little loud. I know. Why am I so loud? I should be the softest speaking one here. All right, Crystal, talk. Hello.
Talk now? You want me to talk about the game? I can talk about the game.
Is there? No, not yet.
Not yet.
Is there?
She's
Is
wants
there
me to
a?
talk.
Is there like a filter on the lapel mics that maybe is keeping it from picking up right away? I see a thumbs up emoji.
Sounds better. Kyle sounds better. For some reason, I can't hear Kyle at all today. I heard Crystal perfectly fine.
It might be because I'm sitting
Yeah.
further away from the
Sound is good
laptop.
for everyone else. Kyle, look at your camera. Yeah, there you go.
It's hard
Look,
now.
there's Kyle. He looks tiny and he looks like he's inside of his toolbox.
That's where I'd rather be most of the time.
What are you doing over there, man?
Like that
I'm
picture.
lounging. I'm trying to relax a
All
little.
right. So we're doing Data East Simpsons, not to be confused with Stern's Simpsons Pinball Party. Crystal is here to tell us a little bit about this game, which we know nothing about. So go ahead, Crystal.
So this game was released in 1990. It is Data East. It is Simpsons, the beloved Fox family group. I don't know. I wasn't allowed to watch the
family
show,
group.
so I don't know a whole lot about The Simpsons. But
You
I
weren't
do.
allowed to watch The Simpsons?
not.
Was
My
it really that bad?
My parents thought it was rude, which is funny because my sense of humor now doesn't really reflect that that role. Anyways, I do know that it was released in 1990 and it was designed by Joe Kamikow and Ed Sabula.
Got it.
Yes, got it. And the artwork was done by Brian O'Connor, who has done Black Knight Sword of Rage. He has done Congo. He did a bunch of other stuff that I'm going to look at my cheat sheet for. Kiss and Walking Dead. And Margaret Hudson is a classic artist as well. She did all like 8-Ball Deluxe, Miss Pac-Man, Mr. and Mrs. Pac-Man, one of my favorite pinball artists.
Spectrum.
Spectrum, yeah, one of Kyle's favorites. And a fun fact about this game is that it was supposed to be the first pinball machine with a DMD, but apparently production was running behind, or the president of Data East at the time was kind of afraid that if they tried to make the DMD on the machine, it was going to cause some production issues and then put their company out of business. So they ended up moving that next to Checkpoint, which was the first DMD for not only Data East, but for pinball as a whole. So, but this is not Checkpoint, this is Simpsons. So that's what I got on this one today. I haven't played this. The first time I played this game was a long time ago, back when I was playing pinball with Jack Danger, and I don't remember a darn thing about it. But I'm excited to see what Kyle does to make it look pretty, so we can play it again. He says,
we'll just make it work.
Yeah,
make it work.
in the
That's
office
fine.
really wants to play this game, Kyle. So no pressure.
Yeah, no pressure at all. Just
Well,
do your
good.
best.
I'll
You
use
gotta
it as
fix
a
up
bargaining
fast,
chip.
and you gotta fix it up good.
It's a neat game. They made a lot of them.
Yeah.
It sold really well, and it's odd because this game came out like during the Simpsons' second or third season, so it's like, you know, not really a risk, but it's just odd that I don't know, the time that it came out. If only if it was a few years later or something, right? I can imagine that the sales numbers would have been even bigger. So.
Yeah. Well, I wonder how well the Simpsons Pinball Party did as well, because that was much, much later. It was more in the 90s, right?
Simpsons
Late
Pinball
90s.
Party was 2003.
Okay, so yeah.
I think, but they ran Simpsons Pinball Party until like 2007, I think. There's small changes like throughout the runs that they did, and I think the easiest way to tell the different Simpsons Pinball Parties apart are the coin door. I remember TJ and I were talking about this, but the early first runs of Simpsons Pinball Party used Wells Gardner coin door, and then the later ones used a Hap coin door, which look exactly like the new Stern ones.
Yes.
But I think there's like small upgrades they did, like reinforcing some black brackets and plastics, and yeah. Anyways, that's a great game.
Apparently, Matt Groening actually helped them or like advised them when they were making this machine. So there was a little bit of help as far as the production company was concerned. I'm not sure how much help or what he told them, but I'm sure he had to approve a couple of things. I'm not sure, but yeah, pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
When did the Simpsons Pinball Party come out? Like, what's the time span? Because this one was a 1990s game.
Yeah.
How much longer did it take to get another Simpsons theme?
10 years.
About that, yeah.
Which is a great. That's a great game. That's a great game for so many reasons. This game is very simple, but fun.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm supposed to look at that camera, not Steve.
Yeah, over there, man.
So.
But shall we? I wish we could keep Crystal here and she could just make fun of me while I'm working on the game the whole time. But
Yeah.
we'll wait till another episode to do that.
You know, I'm always happy to troll. I'll tell you what. I'll troll in the chat. I'll go back to work
Great.
now.
Thank you, Crystal.
Thank you, Emoto,
Thank you.
and Kyle and Steve.
All right, I'm going to our main view.
Did you de-mic yourself?
I did not. I still have it on me.
You're gonna get in the car and start being like, "Oh, those guys suck."
You guys are gonna hear the Doobie Brothers.
Oh God. Yeah, please de-mic yourself. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm excited for this theme.
I'm excited because I get to try to remember how to put it back together. This game got taken apart a long time ago, and I'm not the one who took it apart. It was Kelly. Kelly took it apart. So we will see how well it can go back
We're
together.
gonna try to have Kelly on the show too at some point. Maybe next week, maybe the week after, depending on our work schedule, so she can come in and do some work with you. How does that sound, Kyle?
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I think I should put Kelly to work on this game a little bit as well, so she can kind of get a well-rounded experience on The Simpsons. I'm doing this game kind of quick. It's not getting like a full done-did treatment, but this game's actually like in incredible shape considering. Let's actually just do a quick tour of this poor old game really quick with our new camera
All right,
equipment.
and 808 asked, do we have regular hours? Yep, we stream every Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern. I'm not sure what that is Hawaiian time. I think you were catching some of our side Saturday streams, which we do
Yep.
on occasion. But yep, our current time is Thursdays at 3 o'clock Eastern.
I would like to do more Saturday stuff, but I need someone to encourage me, and I also need more hours in the day. So if someone wants to extend time, we can start doing more Saturday streams. Okay. See you, Crystal. Bye. So we've got all sorts of like new equipment. This is really cool. It's got like a built-in ring light. That is so rad. You
Yeah.
can like.
Did you turn it on? Look this
Okay.
face.
Anywho, this game's pretty nice. For some reason, I see a lot of Simpsons where like one of the flash lamps behind a head has caught on, so I see lots of burnt out Bart heads, which is kind of funny. But I mean, it's actually in pretty nice shape. I can imagine this game went into a home early. It doesn't have signs of like being taken apart before, many times at least. But you know, yeah. I mean, other than these sorts of things, I haven't seen too many of these ramps like chipped up like that in the middle. Normally I see all these nasty ramps all chipped up at the bottom, but something happened here. I'm going to put it back together this way. Maybe we'll fix it one day, but this is fine for now. But yeah, nice game. Very simple. There's not much to this game. It really doesn't have any rules. It just makes a bunch of funny noises and you score points. The Data East pinball system. This is one of their, we copied System 11, games, which is most of them. But it's in okay shape. There's definitely some evidence of acid damage at one point, right? Super screwed up. Scraped off all the nasty, replaced a capacitor, and it's been reliable ever since. I put a Ramtron in it, no more batteries. It's got a replacement power supply. This is one that we sell on our website. It's good for a lot of the Williams games and Data East games from this era. You've got the unique bits. The soundboards on these Data East games are incredible. This is also not tied down. Got to make sure everything's grounded. Got no cover for our relay right here. Kind of funny, but it's not that big of a deal. This is what they call the PPB board. We've got diodes and resistors for a lot of the flash lamps. We've got fuses here for voltages that pass through for solenoids. We've got this rectifier here for some of the high-powered solenoids, I think. It's really common on these things to have all sorts of screwed up fuse values, so always double check them, which I need to do still. And you've also got another issue with Data East games where they used really crappy fuse clips. So you'll have a, let's see if we can break one, but what you'll want to do, if you have a game like this, one of the first things you're going to want to do is get in here and like squeeze your fuse clips, and if they don't have any spring to them, replace them. You'll need to. That is most of the reason why the power supply.
To replace those?
Sorry, go ahead. Goes again.
Do you have to take the board out completely to replace those?
Yep, they're all soldered in, so you need to unsolder these and replace them. One of the biggest reasons why people replace power supplies in the Data East games also, there's a few reasons, but the crappy fuse clips are also a huge culprit for that. So
there's David Valansky's here. He had a good question. He said, shouldn't there be a sticker or something where the batteries used to go that says Ramtron installed? No batteries needed?
No, because I clipped the battery out, right? If you don't take the battery holder out, you're going to want to tell people not to put batteries back in. But
oh, right, that's right.
I totally got rid of the ability to put batteries in at all. So thankfully that message, or hopefully that message doesn't need to be driven home. If we put an NVRAM in something, I'll usually try to get rid of the provisions to put batteries back in the game. Yeah, the display is kind of unique too. Instead of putting all of the drive electronics like on the board, they use these like weird soldered through, or these are like really long header pins, and these things get pushed onto it.
I'm trying to focus on that.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. This is a unique thing for the Data East displays. You see that? You've got all these drive transistors and their accompanying resistor, and then this dip. I mean, this is like the same size as like a socket, but I don't know. They're unique. You don't see these too often anymore.
Diodes.
Because so many of these things have been replaced with LED displays like our PinScore displays. But this one works, so we use this game to test our pin scores if there's ever a problem that can't be solved without like an actual game. But it's still a good glass, so I'm going to keep it in. Anyways, yeah, that's Simpsons. So kind of just working on putting the thing back together and remembering how it went. I have the ramp behind us. I need to put a couple more plastics on it. I'm test fitting this new plastic set, and everything seems to be excellent. Yeah, I like this. On the first couple Data East games, solid state flippers. And we're going to remind you, no one's even going to know what that means, but we're going to put the sticker on there anyways.
Yeah, we have those replacement stickers too.
Yes.
And it's in the little side scroll. That's cool. We have
think
the
like
Data East logo ones, and then the ones that say solid state.
I think every game from like RoboCop up until about, maybe it was just this game or maybe a Checkpoint. I don't think Checkpoint
What
had
game
them.
had the Pulverizer on it?
The Pulverizer?
Yeah, because we sell those too. It's a flipper decal that just says Pulverizer.
Cool, I don't know.
That's right.
That's good pinball trivia. What game has a Pulverizer flipper?
Oh.
I don't know. I always like on Xenon how underneath the flippers, when you flip them up, it says thruster.
Yeah, that's pretty rad.
That's almost like a Pulverizer. Okay, I didn't get all the right rubbers. I'm putting the last post on before I can start like trying to put plastics on and stuff, but I need to go to my rubber bin. Does anyone have a, whatchamacallit? What is this game called? The Simpsons?
Rampomatic is here and says you will have replacement ramp soon too.
Yeah. Yep, we have Rampomatic is making a new Simpsons ramp. And you're going to be able to buy a new Simpsons ramp from us with decals. So that will be pretty cool. A good plug-and-play solution. They're going to have, correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Rampomatic, but these will also have all the lamp sockets riveted. Here, the ramp is insane. It's a gigantic ramp. So when you get the ramp, it will be pretty close to plug and play. Rampomatic is going to install all of the flasher lamp sockets.
Cool.
With these ramps, you will need to invest in some small bits of double stick tape when you transfer your harness over. They've got these, we're kind of out of the light. Here, can you put this handheld camera on?
Or you can use camera B.
It's not in the light.
Blue tripod cam.
Okay, fine. It might just be too dark, though. These guys, you want to...
You can move that camera.
Oh, wait. I forgot. Ring lights.
You can do that as well.
Check it out. These harness grabbers, you're going to want to get some like really thin, like 3M double-sided tape to reapply these so you can keep your harness well dressed around this gigantic ramp. It's a bit of a project, but this is it'll be very nice to have new Simpsons ramps. They're all broken in the same place, like most ramps are right here in the entrance. This one is
it's a pretty ramp.
Broken. Since this game is not going to get played much outside of this building, we're not going to work on building anything super crazy for this. Maybe we'll put a new ramp in it one day if it gets really bad, but yeah. It's a big ramp. Large ramp.
Oh yeah, Arcade Crusaders. Feel free to join our Discord group where everyone is helping each other with tech questions and also, of course, sharing what beer they're drinking that night. It's a good little community we're growing, so please join us on Discord, anyone and everyone.
Yes,
and
please.
Share your pet photos.
Pets, pinball, beer, provisions. We talk about it all. So yeah, Simpsons. I'm going to get this post in, and then I want to look, and we'll see where else we need to go. This game...
Someone asked earlier if this was the same system as the Data East Turtles game.
Yep. They use this system, essentially the same system from... I think Laser War uses something unique, but like everything from like Torpedo Alley forward uses the same like rip-off of the Williams computer up until the last couple, I think like the first Sega games were the last ones that used this system. Like Baywatch still uses this system. mean, I know like Frankenstein. I think, what was the first White Star game? Was it Twister?
I'm not sure.
I think one of the...
Oh, thanks, Jacob. Stand by.
Whatever. There was a time when it stopped. This system was just kind of, it was at its end, and White Star became the new powerhouse, and we have been subjected to White Star ever since. Kind of a pain, but it's a good system.
We have a random question, tech question from Dube Sinhauer. Said, I have a Williams System 7 Firepower 2, but the manual doesn't say the part numbers for any switches. Where could I look the part numbers up?
Those are going to be in like the big parts catalog for that year, which would be 83, possibly 84.
What game was it?
Firepower 2.
Oh, Firepower 2.
Firepower 2.
Firepower 2. I don't even know.
I mean, yeah, it would be in like the big Williams catalog for that year. There should be a listing of the switches, or at least
it's going to be in the parts catalog, not in your manual. So Williams introduced, you've got your game manual, and then they had the big parts catalogs for like distributors. It's going to be in there. That game's weird because I think that was one of the games where, 85 was the year where they had all 4 games on one flyer. Instead of like giving an individual flyer for each game, like Pinball was so bad at that time, they just put all of their games on one flyer. It was so in the dumps. But it's weird because there's a huge gap between Williams parts manuals. It goes from like, I think the last one they did was in 83, and then the first one after that was like 87 or 88.
Yeah, so it might be like 87 or 88. Yeah, I think you're right.
I think.
Yeah, just scour the internet and see if you can find that parts catalog.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to find some of those switches. But at the same time, if you are dedicated enough, you could probably like visually match them up, depending on what switch it is. It is nice to have that number to really get definitive answers, But yeah, the parts catalogs, they're on the internet. You can find them somewhere, and that will have your information. They're hard to read because they're really long, but they're really interesting. And sometimes they have good drawings. Firepower 2, though. Let's talk about how amazing that game is.
Everybody.
Firepower 2 is like 1,000 times more awesome than Firepower.
Agreed.
It's got a cool ramp. And a bell.
Oh, yeah. What's going on here? Smaller.
Let me show this part off. I just cut one off, but can I grab one that's not under a rubber right now? I don't know what this part number is, but we sell them. But this is something...
38-5151.
All right, 38-5151. Can you do the small camera, Emoto?
That's right. That's awesome. He always knows. Okay.
Look at this guy.
I'm switching cameras. Stand by. Oh, gosh.
You see that little black rubber under here?
Ooh.
The 38-5151. These
Is the
are
little ring light on that camera?
Yeah.
Cool.
So these guys, Data East tried to do a lot of things to be better than Williams by making more operator-friendly products. Less service calls, more earnings sort of stuff. And this was an idea that they had to keep rubbers from wearing out, which would, you have this large or small, half length on the post rubber sleeve that would go underneath a grooved post where you would put a rubber. And the idea is that a pinball hitting here would, this would absorb a lot of the energy instead of making this take the brunt of the force and start to degrade at the rubber, right? Most of the time, if you've noticed, right, rubbers always break on the ends or at like contact points. So Data East did this for a really long time, and for a long time it was really hard to get these. But now you can get them all day long. And I didn't get enough, so I can't put them on all the posts, but I will fix that at some point. But yeah, I like replacing them when I can. They really do make a difference.
My bad, I picked that rubber kit.
Yeah. Okay, I'll rat Steve out. He picked the rubber kit, and he might have forgotten one or two of them, but I was the one who forgot to get it and asked him to do it for me, so I cannot blame him. Anywho, replace those on your game.
Yeah.
If you have them.
Jackrabbit replaced a bunch of these on the Data East Jurassic Park.
Yeah, no, they're great. They
And they
really do
shot
keep
them.
they really do keep things from breaking. I don't think it's placebo, but I have noticed that they do work well. I hate how Data East would shove like teeny rubbers next to ball guides, and it's impossible to get them on the post too.
Yeah, Daniel says there's a nice mod for the pop bumpers, which is the same as the Simpsons Pinball Party.
Simpsons Pinball Party is one of the most modded games of
Yeah.
old. I guess it's not so much anymore. But yeah, these I love the pop bumpers on this game, the cooling towers. I will have the special rod and rings back in stock sometime soon. I'm working on getting those remade right now. And we should have a good constant supply of those. So if you want to put some cooling towers on any of your games that have pop bumpers, you might be able to.
All right, Arcade Crusaders. I just dropped in the updated Discord link. If you click that, that will link you to our PinTech or just our Marco Discord in general. You can see the PinTech channel. That's for everyone. Please join our conversations after the show. And Florida 1056, the free shipping from Marco. If you're domestic, which sounds like you would be in Florida. Add to your cart $99 or more, and then drop in the free shipping code, which is all caps PT-Bartman. And it's 24-hour code. We do it every Thursday for our awesome audience, PinTech Labs. And don't worry, our international followers will be having codes for you too very, very soon. Hopefully by next week.
We're just going to like do only international free shipping. Everyone else has to wait a while. Okay, I think I've got most of this together. I'm trying to get it to the point where I can put the ramp on, and I have taken these games. I have taken many Simpsons apart, and I'm kind of coming back to me. I thought there was a plastic for the corner, but I guess there is not. I know where this one goes. This one goes here. Ta-da! Is very commonly broken, but this one is new, so it is not broken. Let's see. Does anyone have this game? I enjoy games like this a lot. Just the goofy.
Try giggling the kid?
What? Steve's making jokes over there. I enjoy these really basic, fun games. I tend to enjoy like having these sorts of games in my, in the arcade, as opposed to just like the super serious, like tournament-y, mega rule stern games. I do like being able to just take a break and be like, okay, I don't need to know how to play Avengers. I'm just going to go slap the ball around on Simpsons now.
Hey, Kyle, can you put the handheld camera and give us a cool shot of the assembly you're doing?
I can't guarantee you it's going to be cool, but I will give you something.
Make it cool.
I don't have the same amazing vision you do.
No, you got this.
Speaking of which, you need to come back so we can work on doing a cool stop motion project. We never even got to consider doing that.
It's glitching.
What's glitching?
It's glitching.
Our amazing, perfect new webcams are having an issue?
I think it's the cable.
Really?
C-Cam is kind of doing a little glitch dance.
Which one's that? You gave them all these names that I can't like immediately remember.
Clearfield.
Oh, okay. Oh, blue cam.
You can color code them if you want.
Thank goodness.
Blue is so much easier to remember than
save
C.
it.
Well, because I can look at it and see
and
blue.
we will,
That's why I know it's blue.
Good luck with what's going on with you, and we'll catch up with you after that.
Yeah, David, take care of yourself.
One day in the future, possibly in June, we're going to do a fun EM show and bring Dee Valansky on as a special guest. We're going to look at Jack in the Box, right?
Probably.
Kyle?
Yeah, very, very likely Jack in the Box.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
I know what the problem is. The problem is also very simple, but being able to show people where to find said or that sort of problem on the schematic is great. So that's what David's going to help.
I knew that was coming. Colin was like, bow and arrow?
Emoto, you saw bow and arrow.
The bow and arrow they have there. Might be better to be turned into a coffee table.
No. That bow and arrow can be, it can and will be fixed.
Call it a day.
it can and will be fixed.
Oh, okay,
but
good, David. That's
not
good.
now.
Glad.
I think we just need to do PinTech Michigan and go visit Colin Baxter and fix his bow and arrow.
Yeah, let's back that camera up. Back it up. Oh, that's nice. We have another question. This is from Rilla Pinball saying, hey guys, on my Data East Phantom of the Opera, sometimes while just sitting in a track mode, it will spasm and lock up. I'll shut it down, restart it, and it'll be fine for another 2 to 3 weeks. Any suggestions on that, Kyle?
Yeah, how much acid damage do you have on your computer? Start there. You know, the two main things you're going to look for with that sort of an issue is acid damage, and you're going to also look for, gosh, English isn't working today. Power supply. Make sure both of those things are happy. If you're getting some inconsistent voltages, or your voltages are or you have any sort of weird, acid damage, that can cause all sorts of weird computer spasms and lockups.
Zero acid damage that I've noticed.
That you've noticed. This is where you're, with this kind of a problem, I would recommend taking the whole dang computer out and really looking. There's a lot of really sensitive components and it does not take a lot of battery damage to cause them to have bad signals. So. But also power supply, you need to recap the power supplies, everything on the 12 and 5 volt side of the power supply. Check your fuse clips. It's just like, if you haven't gone and done all the basic stuff already, right? It's like, the reason I bring that up is just, there could be some really basic things that could be causing it, and also some very complicated things that might cause this sort of stuff. But it's the hidden, seeing acid damage is heartbreaking, but it's the stuff you can't see that's really frustrating. The stuff that is behind the scenes destroying your game. Let's see. Phantom of the Opera, though, great game. Like, really, really great game with incredible art. That is one of the most beautiful pinball machines that Data East ever did.
We have all those gold foil stickers now.
Yeah.
Loose Flip, hello. I was wearing your shirt yesterday.
You were wearing it at my house, too. Hi, Andy. Thanks for joining.
Andy.
I really had fun watching your NBA Fast Break stream the other day.
John Briggs, thank you. Kyle does rock.
Do I? Thanks.
Kyle, have you done snap caps yet? Yeah, we did that. When did we do that?
Well, we've talked about snap capacitors before, but we've never done the one... We've never really done it in the one instance where it becomes problematic, and that's the Williams driver board. We've used snap capacitor. I think like one of the first soldering episodes we did, maybe, I tried to go through and we sort of explained the difference between a bunch of different styles of capacitor and why they're called this and why they're called that. So I don't know. Should I get them out? Should this be a learning moment? Should I show capacitors?
Yeah. Hey, Mitch, can you check the Slack?
Hold on. I'm going to try to get this ramp up and into the game really quick, because this will help me. Sometimes when you're lost, or if you're grabbing or adopting someone else's problematic project, just laying things back into the places where they're kind of supposed to go can be very helpful in figuring out how how the order of operations to get the game back together. Let me find some capacitors really quick, and I can kind of show a snap capacitor just in case anyone cares. Here, actually, while Steve is working on cameras,
we're gonna do
Emoto,
some reframing. Yeah,
Can you-
just center up Kyle. I think you just need to walk it over to your left a little bit and.
can you put on the
Yeah,
handheld
and tilt
camera?
down.
Oops.
So when he's at this desk, it's nice and framed. We're kind of Dutch angling a little bit. We're gonna fall. I'm gonna fall out of the TV.
Oh, John Briggs.
What's up, Pez?
Thanks for saying I rock.
Yeah, Kyle lost his rock star flair. He
I know.
cut his hair.
I'm boring now.
He conformed to society.
I'm boring now.
Somebody earlier in the chat said they can't take you seriously with that haircut. Thought that was pretty great.
I don't know how you all took me seriously with that haircut. I looked like a something. Hey, can you put the handheld cam on?
I like that. Yes.
I do miss long hair.
Wow. I was
This-
wondering where you were.
This is a snap style capacitor. You've got, so it is kind of like a radial capacitor, but it doesn't have wire leads, right? This little guy, you've just got these little studs. Then you've got your other styles of, hey, here's a fuse clip for a data east power supply. Ta-da. Anyways, your other capacitors will be more like this, right? This is an axial capacitor.
It's true.
It's an axial because it's like an axle. You've got the leads coming out either side, like the Flintstones car, right? And you've got these wire leads. So, and then you've got radial capacitors, which are just like this, except for with wire leads. So, the reason Colin was talking about snap caps is because his brand new Black Rose is resetting, and it could be due to the 12-volt system. Remember we talked about that a bazillion times and why we have that cool reset monitor thing? Yeah, it's a pain in the butt. We'll do it one day. Okay, the ramp is back in. So now it's a matter of figuring out the rest of the order of everything. This ramp is so ginormo that it goes behind the backplane. So we've also got the backplane, which says millions. So there is
that
a
was something you needed to work on too, right? Like I saw you had that. There was like another black piece that had the lights panel attached to it, like it's a separate panel.
That was it.
Kind of floating around.
Yeah, this is
And you
it
put
right
on
here.
that. Nice.
I just put the. This is crazy though, right? Like this is the. Data East spent all their money on light bulbs and flash lamps.
Oh yeah. I like his face is centered up right in that hole.
Yeah, you've got a Homer flasher. So yeah, this game is like an insane build order with the ramp going behind the backplane and stuff. It's pretty neat. Yeah, I like this game, but I'm afraid that I'm not putting it together 100%. I noticed that these are some decals that I would like to get redone as well. I did not bring these in when I brought the ramp in, but you've got like everyone being electrocuted for some reason. But I need to take these back. I'm not going to be putting these back on the game right now because they need to be brought back to the shop. But I also need to sit here and keep looking through these plastics to figure out where I'm missing pieces. I know that this blue piece here attaches to the top of this guy. Since this panel does kind of like stick forward just a teeny bit, so I should attach that now. I need to do the same thing you need to do on your Black Rose, Colin, on my Twilight Zone eventually. It is suffering currently from the resetting problem. And it would be really good to document. Maybe that's something you need to come back to do, Emoto, or something we can do it not live, but like record that process. So I think that's a really important one. I just don't want to do it live.
Oh yeah, one in the early episodes they had the electrocuted characters. We had a question that I kind of skimmed by, but I'm going to come back to it from Brian Eimer. If you're still here, He has a Data East Jurassic Park with several lights on the playfield that just stay on. The transistor tests good on the CPU that drives the lamps, but he's not sure where else to look.
So the places you're going to want to look are, you want to, so, okay, here's the first thing. Is it one column or one row that is stuck on? If yes, go look for shorts. You're going to look for shorts to that column to see if there's anything, keeping it on. Maybe you've got a general illumination connector or a general illumination wire that is sticking or getting stuck and leaving that thing, or illuminating all those lights at the same time. Also, at the same time, like
one column.
It's one column. It's part of one column. Yeah, start by checking where your connectors are. Make sure you've got nothing shorted, but I would sit there and I would figure out what those lights may have in common. And what they may have in common is you might find a short somewhere. What I would recommend though is, like, if you are capable and you are not, if you can solder on your board, just replace the components. It's like, even though they test good, it's really not much to get in there and replace it, right? It's not difficult to replace 1 or 2 transistors if you're having, just to really, really knock it out of the park. Not knock it out of the park, but rather, what am I trying to say?
Nice.
Just to get it out of the way, right?
Knock it out of the park. Not knock it out of the park.
I can hear myself.
Rather, what am I trying to say?
Nice.
Just to get it out of the way, right?
Where's the audio coming from?
Not knock it out of the park.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I could hear myself and I was confused.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know.
I
was like hearing you 5 times over and over again saying, I can really knock it out of the park. I can really knock it out of the park.
And what I meant to say was, you can try just to get that out of the way, right? Just because it tests good, well, it's a 40-cent component, just replace it. And if that solves your problem, then you're going to be glad you didn't go down a rabbit hole. But I don't know. Shotgun fixing doesn't teach you much, but shotgun fixing does give you results relatively quickly. Yeah. A lot of the times, though, those issues are because things are shorted. I've seen many times, like, a lamp socket that's bent just a little bit goofy and it holds a bunch of other lights on, and yeah. I hope I'm putting this together the right way. That looks right. That looks right. I always like to start in the back and then move down when I'm working on games with a lot of ramps also, because it seems like the way that they are built usually is in that order, the way that things stack on top of each other. That is not always true, but sometimes. Data East Jurassic Park, what a good game. It's got a T-Rex. Got El Barto.
Oh, that's awesome.
What?
El Barto.
Oh. Let's see. I don't have new nylon lock nuts for this, or nylon nuts for this, so I'm going to wait. Actually, I may have some. I might try to get some of these plastics on without waiting. Okay, these big studs here.
Brian said, going back to the JP Data East,
yeah.
When you say short it, could it be a bad diode on one of the lamps? So,
well,
what do you mean by
yes.
short it?
Yeah, a bad diode would absolutely. I guess I wouldn't use the word short, but you could have a bad diode. I guess the things I'm suggesting are commonplace issues. A bad diode. That doesn't mean a bad diode isn't commonplace, but I tend to find, like, issues like that do tend to be they're man-made, right? I mean, a failed transistor, which doesn't happen too often, is not a man-made issue. But a lot of those issues I do see generally are because things are shorted to a lamp socket somewhere. But if you did have a short onto a column, it would keep the whole thing illuminated, I think, on that game. Diodes, yes. Okay, so if you've got an open diode, I wish I was looking at a matrix right now. just check every diode before and after the light in that column that is bad. And that's probably where you're going to pinpoint your issue. Hopefully.
Eat my shorts, dog.
Great. That was a great segue from my blabbling. Okay. There's a few pieces of plastic here that I'm not 100% sure where they go. That's why I'm not really tightening things down yet. I should be looking at some.
It's coming together. Like you're remembering the puzzle that you did not juggle.
Yep.
Oh,
exactly.
Thank you, Dragger. Don't have a cow at Moto.
Okay, I know that.
Thank you.
Get your photo taken with Bigfoot. Here, this is where we need to tell the chat, like, hey, everyone go on IPDB and tell me where this stuff goes. But I might just do that on my phone while we're trying to figure this out. I mean, the slingshots are easy. I know where the slingshots go. Oh, yeah, wait. This one, the watch it dude, that one goes above the shooter lane. That one's easy. This is the right sling. Data East games are difficult to take apart. I definitely think that Williams spent some time making things just easier to repair. This is probably anecdotal, but I just noticed that these things are kind of harder to take apart. There's not a ton of standardization in hardware. There's things like screwed onto ramps weird that I wish weren't that way. I don't know. Maybe I'm
take pictures.
Take pictures, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe some people find these games a bunch easier to work on than the Williams games. But okay, these go above the shooter rod lane. Return lanes. I'm just blaming it on Kelly. She's the one who took this game apart, so. I tried to tell her she's the one that needed to put it back together, but, you know, didn't happen. Okay. Data East also seemed to use, like, kind of cheap hardware. I don't know. I always noticed, like, this. It's either that the people working on them didn't care or they used bad hardware, because, like, the screws are always stripped out. They're a lot softer, I feel, than the Williams ones. I think
Surely they cared.
You'd be surprised, right? Like, you know, pinball is just coin-operated equipment, and you only care about it while people were shoving quarters into the coin door.
Pinball is fueled by passion, Kyle.
It is now. But Bob at Bob's Music Company was not passionate about pinball, which is why pinball disappeared in the public eye for a long time.
No, Bigfoot is behind the spinner. Can
Yeah.
I see that?
Wait, hold on.
Where is the spinner? Oh, there's the spinner. It's a fish. No. Oh, yeah, it's like the Homer Pickman. Spin it. Spin it for us.
It won't spin. It is hitting this
no.
post.
How do you make a spinner spin nice?
This one needs some adjustment. Oh, this thing's loosey-goosey, so we're going to want to tighten that down, and that might help make that better. But it looks like it's getting, the linkage is a little weird here. Look at these. You've got the washers that are supposed to center the spinner wire that attaches to the switch underneath the playfield. And these things are moving all over the place, and they're hitting this ball guide here, which was causing it to not spin.
Oh, yeah.
But now it's doing it again because these spinner washers look like they're reamed out. We'll have to look at that later.
The plastic you had in your hand, M. Kulzelman said the plastic goes behind the spinner. I missed it.
Which one? Oh, I think yeah. These go underneath here, or maybe not this side, but these go underneath the ramps, I think. Yeah. Hey, thanks. I think I'm gonna have to see how I can. Oh wait, the back plane. That gives me a little bit more room. Man, look at that. If I didn't have you here, I would have been like, heck. Ta-da!
Hmm.
Nice.
Um,
We're really making some progress. It looks like a pinball machine again, sort of. Might need to get a shorter screwdriver since I'm going to do this with the ramp still in. I'm going to see if I can find the shortest screwdriver. That's not the shortest. Where is it? It's so small, it's hard to find in the... Ah, here it is. When your teeny screwdriver doesn't work,
cute.
you get the teeny screwdriver.
Oh my gosh. That's the smallest screwdriver I've ever seen.
It's so...
It's not even like small, it's just like short and fat.
It's so handy. It's the best screwdriver you never knew you didn't need.
Oh, wait. Are we still live? What happened? Did we drop off the planet?
I don't know, but Steve seems to be very passionately shaking his head saying no, so I'm going to believe him.
No, we're not live? Are you still
No,
live?
we are
Twitch?
live. We're good. Yeah.
Still live.
Still love, baby.
Really?
Still love.
Oh, weird.
Thanks,
I
Pez
just got
Johnson.
this
Thank you,
restream
everybody.
notification that showed that we weren't live. Oh, that's weird.
So,
JK.
Speaking
Everyone's like,
of...
yes, you're live. Okay,
Remember
good thing I
X.
didn't
Nice.
pick my nose during that question.
Roller pinball's probably about
Crystal
my
had
age.
another fun fact about this game, saying that this license was one of the reasons pinball had a bit of resurgence in the 90s. Because the theme, just Simpsons helped bring back pinball.
I believe that. I mean,
It's pretty
you know,
awesome.
it's like Gary insists that, you know, I mean, a licensed game is better than an original theme, and he's not wrong. They are more appealing to people, a wider audience of people, right? Like, what else came out in 1990? Like Bride of Pinbot? Like, would I rather play Bride of Pinbot than The Simpsons? Like, yeah, a bazillion times over. But, you know, there is a
But you don't
large
know who Brad
group of the general public that is just like, oh, I know that show. I want to play The Simpsons. And it's worked out well for him.
Yeah, and MGM Studios reminds us that Simpsons is the longest running sitcom.
That's crazy.
It's well over 30 years, right?
Yeah. I think the first season of The Simpsons was like 1988 or 1987.
It's 39 years old.
39
no, sorry.
years old?
Homer
No.
Simpson's 39 years old.
Yeah, right.
89 was the first season.
89?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay, so this
89?
game came out in like the
So
first or second season of The
32?
Simpsons.
32 years old.
That's crazy.
Nice.
I haven't seen, I don't know The Simpsons super well. I kind of wish that I understood
Yeah,
like the
Torpedo
uber
Alley.
geekdom, but what?
Rainbow says, "You're telling me Torpedo Alley didn't do it for everyone?" I mean, it is the best backclass ever. Or translate, or
Yeah,
whatever it is.
Torpedo Alley and Laser War. I mean, that's really the pinnacle of pinball, in my opinion. But no, I mean, look though, it does like it does make sense, right? Like, I remember when I listened to pinball podcasts. Still, there was like a huge people like the one thing people would want to argue about all the time is like, oh, original games are so much better because I like them. It's like, yeah, well, you like them, but you know, the people that actually play these games, they tend to want to play things that are familiar to them. So whether they're right or wrong, it does seem to work out. Speaking of which, new games. The Mandalorian. How freaking awesome. I cannot wait to play this.
Yay.
I cannot
Did you
wait
guys
to see it.
that?
That's so cool.
Hopefully they make a Baby Yoda edition, huh?
Yeah, the Grogu edition. I almost feel like I should not have bought Deadpool, because now I should have bought The Mandalorian, but you know.
Now you gotta get both.
Well, thankfully, my wife, if she's watching, she is a Mandalorian fan. Maybe we can talk that out. Yeah, we were saving up for you to get a new car, but Mandalorian. The poor Subaru, it really does need a replacement.
Can you tilt up with your handheld camera?
Yeah.
I wanna see.
Okay, so what I just did was I installed these plastics here using the handy dandy micro screwdriver.
Okay, that makes sense.
So those go there.
The
I've got
behind
the
the
back
plastics
plane back
plastics.
in. The ramp is now attached to the side rail here, and I am going to work again from the back forward until we get to the point where I know it is okay to affix these habit trails here for the ball popper. I think it is definitely okay to affix the pop bumper plastic here. But okay, this actually wasn't as bad. I didn't get enough time, like enough of a lead time to come in here and like get a roll, but thankfully this game kind of just came together. Sort of. I say that now and I'm nowhere near the end. I think we should look at this game too because this game wasn't the first Data East game to use an up kicker, I don't think. I think there are a few others that used an up kicker, but I want to show what a Data East up kicker looks like and explain the difference between this one and the Williams ones and why these are worse, but they still work. But I have a few more plastics to put in, such as, watch it, dude.
Watch it, dude.
Have you played this game, Imoto? I know they have one at the Museum of Pinball. I'm missing a truss head screw. Or I've put too many truss head screws in the wrong place. Oh, Imoto, are we still having laptop sound issues? Are you not picking up my voice like we were earlier?
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Oh, no. Man, we've got all sorts of
know.
problems to iron out.
I just laugh when you laugh, and I smile when you smile, and I nod my head when it looks like you're saying something important. I'm just hanging out with the chat right now.
Which mic?
There's a room mic in there that's mysteriously disappeared.
Well, which one is it? Yeah.
It's like, anyways.
Okay, we're done with that.
Thank you, Bob from the UK Pinball Toys. He says he loves watching us, and every episode's getting better and better. And right now we're talking about tech issues, trying to make this show better. We're getting there, y'all. Thank you for your patience.
Yeah, PinTech tech. We're constantly trying to make it better, but every time we get a new piece of equipment, we seem to be thrown a curveball that makes us.
We did get an equipment upgrade.
We've got new webcams, which are incredibly lovely and have ring lights. We
just need a better feed.
A better what?
We're just missing one. Mic feed.
Oh, yeah, I think that's the next upgrade.
For me, everyone can hear you great. It's just me.
Oh, okay, well.
So it's just me.
I'm going to talk to the chat then. If you're just talking to the chat, we can just ignore each other. And I can read the chat now because there's actually a TV where I can kind of see.
I'll just be like the NPC that says stuff out from the chat. What's up?
Is that what you aspire to be today, as an NPC?
I'm an NPC.
You are the host of the show. We had fun doing our live stream at the arcade last week. That was pretty difficult.
Here, I have a question from Jacob.
Yeah.
He says, a friend of mine was having trouble with the Data East Super VUC, the VUK.
Super VUC. I hate that acronym.
VUC. I was like, VUC. Okay, see, I heard you say that. From what I could tell, it's supposed to have a flanged coil sleeve in order to center the plunger, but the part diagram and the repair kit seem to not include them. Has anyone else used a flanged coil sleeve in a Super VUC?
What game is it in? I mean, let's look at the up kickers in this once I tack this ramp down really quick.
Serious Driver, yes, we are actually in 2 different states, several states apart.
Which is amazing how we are able to even produce this. This was a production born out of the pandemic, so we had to figure out how to do it totally remote from the get-go.
And it usually works seamlessly.
Okay.
Tales from the Crypt.
Huh.
Tales from the Crypt.
I cannot stand that game.
Thank you, Superstar.
I think like
So it's
games with the most annoying audio are probably Super Mario Brothers and then Tales from the Crypt.
oops.
In my opinion. My bad opinion, an unpopular opinion as well. Oh, that's not attached. Let's get that out of there.
Oh yeah, you got to pull that out. You always have to pull that out, huh?
Well, when it's not attached, yeah. But the wiring harness is
Oh,
not
it's
dressed
not
very
attached. Oh,
well.
gotcha,
The
gotcha.
ramp is not firmly attached, so we just have to be gentle as we lift. Actually, I'm going to put a nut on here so the ramp can't escape. Okay, and we will look at the underside of this game. So, get the lamp. I mean the light. So
Just real quick, just a funny comment. Jacob said, "If it comforts Kyle, the Tales from the Crypt soundboard was broken."
oh, well, thank goodness. That really does comfort me. I have some, you know how, well, my phone does this. I have an Android phone. I don't know if Apple phones do it, but it's like, on this day, 5 years ago, you were doing this. And it was showing me pictures of this Tales from the Crypt that Chris and I pulled out of literally a barn. And it was the most disgusting pinball machine I've ever seen in my entire life. And I took before pictures, and it reminded me of like, oh crap, that game came out really, really good. So I should find pictures of the after, and I could show those later. Let's look
yeah, it
at
does
this.
look super clean underneath this game.
Oh yeah, this game has not been abused. Okay, so there are a few things that you knock points off of. There is supposed to be a fish paper shield over the flipper board.
Oh.
So there's no fish paper shield. This is still here. The tube was very commonly ripped out on these games. And also, Data East games, I don't know if it was in this era, but later Data East games had a fish paper cover back here. So to just like cover the coin box for whatever reason. If I remember right. I think it's so things wouldn't interfere. I'll have to find a picture.
Wait, what does that tube do? Yeah, Colin, you took the words right out of my mouth.
I think that this tube is here. It's for venting, I guess, for like the sound. But I think the reason they put this tube here is so, you know, little punk couldn't rip the hole out of the, couldn't rip the grate off and reach their hand up in and take quarters out. So these, I think, were installed here to keep it so it's
security tube?
Yeah, it's to keep your hands, to keep your wrists from moving over to the cash box.
They should have put like serrated spikes, so like you put your head in and then you can't pull your head back out.
That sounds like you'd go to jail for that.
Is that too morbid?
Just saying.
Oh,
I have seen things listed in old coin-op catalogs that were like a firecracker that would like go off if you were to open up or jam the coin door open or something like that.
Oh, nice.
To scare people away, but anywho,
Like
let's
the blue ink that sprays at you if you try to rip off the little security tabs at a Macy's store.
Let's just remove one of these up kickers
Sorry.
because I
Went a
think
little dark ages right there.
it would be a little
Chinese
easier
finger
to.
trick.
So, okay, yes, for an up kicker, you do need a coil, a bell sleeve. Bell sleeve is how I refer to coil sleeves because they go for chime units and stuff like that have the flanged ones, right? So sorry if my nomenclature is weird, but let's just take this thing off and we can examine the Data East up kicker. Is there weird? I think they're both the same on this game. There's two of them.
Nice.
I don't know what designates a super VUC. I don't know if the super VUC is one that uses like a 50-volt coil, but maybe they just gave it that name because it sounds cool.
Super buck. Colin fixed his black rose.
Oh, good. What was it? Please let us know.
Nice. So I missed the part with what this is the up kicker coil you said, and like what's wrong with it?
Nothing. I'm just showing off what it is because sounds
cool.
like we might need someone needs some help with Tales from the Crypt possibly. So the anatomy of an up kicker. You've got your coil
this is the
bracket.
buck.
You've got your screws that hold on the retainer. So that is where you need your flange sleeve, your bell sleeve. The flanged bit, allows a little bit of coil sleeve to come out on both sides to allow the plunger to travel up and down. Data East did this a few ways, and they did it all very badly every time. Williams did up kickers a lot better. They also had issues as well, but you can see there's a lot of spring here. So this, if MGM Studio's in the chat, maybe he'll be able to correct me, but I think there is a roll pin in here that holds this cup to this shaft. Then you've got this spring down here, and what this does is when the ball rolls onto the cap, it sags, right? And that allows this to press down to depress the switch, which will then make all this stuff work. Williams did it, and again, this is all pre-opto. Later on, there would be an opto here that would tell the game when a ball was sitting on the up kicker, and it would do its thing. Williams, what they would do is they actually had a Y-shaped switch that would bend down with this plunger. But there was just a little bit more of an elegant system than using a bunch of straps and weird springs and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. That's an up kicker. You got your switch on the butt, backside. And that's what activates here. So yeah, anywho.
Nice. So David said before when you were showing it that, yeah, he calls it a bell sleeve. All coil sleeves have a flange. Bell sleeves have the flange not at the end.
Yeah, a bell sleeve will, the flange is a little bit further inset, so you have a coil sleeve on either end.
Did you call them bell sleeves because they're used in bell assemblies, or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Bells and chimes and stuff
right
like that. I mean, that's the more, that was prior to, up kickers and kickbacks and stuff like that. That was the primary usage of one of those coil sleeves, was in a bell or a chime. But then with the advent of kickbacks and stuff like that, where I don't know. I found this in here, which is kind of funny.
And then Bad Out of Hell said Super Bucks are for under playfield operation, scoops, mode holes, and regular bucks are for playfield based up kickers.
Okay.
I think.
Well, I think that sounds.
In the disclaimer.
I
Sounds
believe
right.
you until proven otherwise, so thank you. And hey, just in case you don't already, follow @GaryStern on Twitter.
That's funny.
This was just sitting in the game. I don't know if that's real. Does Gary Stern even have a Twitter account?
No, I think that was a fake Gary Stern. It was really funny though.
That's pretty good. Yeah, knowing Gary as little as I do, he doesn't seem like the Twitter type.
Oh no, I just looked it up. His account is suspended.
Ha! Well,
it was really funny while it lasted.
It was probably a fake account. It was fake Gary Stern.
Yeah, it was.
And then
Fake
he
Gary.
destroyed it.
Okay, we'll get that up kicker installed.
Whoa.
Oh, hey, you know what, too? While we're in here, before I put the playfield back down, is the small camera still on? Check this out.
Yes.
Due to a viewer telling me they needed these things,
You made them.
we made them. So they're installed here in the game. The playfield pivots for the old style Data East games. So. You ask, and sometimes you shall receive. And look, I didn't install a bolt there.
I think we installed that on the show once.
No, I definitely
As a
didn't.
product spotlight.
We used them as a product spotlight, but I never installed them. I was swearing my entire way. Because I had to, you have to do it outside the game, and then I had to lift the playfield up and in myself, which is always fun.
Then we just showed it. We'll post a link to those in the chat.
What are some other Data East innovations? It's not really an innovation, but Data East rolled with what Bally used to do. with one-piece pop bumper assemblies. You could unscrew this and drop the whole assembly out for ease of maintenance. They did that for a long time, and it's pretty cool. What else did Data East do? Well, the first solid-state flippers.
For a long time? Sorry, I was on the wrong.
Oh, these pop bumper bodies, the bases.
Oh, those yellow things?
Yep, 4 screws and the entire thing.
They look fancy.
It's a pretty cool system. Bally did it as well in the early 80s. Data East was the first to market with a solid-state flipper, just like with RoboCop. They shortly learned, though, that you can't really have a solid-state flipper without an end-of-stroke switch. So they had to install an end-of-stroke switch. And then, what was it? What's the story? Do you know that one, Steve? With the... They had to install an end-of-stroke switch, but you also had to keep that end-of-stroke switch clean, just like you would a standard switch, because of the way that this flipper board worked. And then they redesigned it again. Let me learn that story so I can tell it properly. But anyways, we've talked about that, why an end-of-stroke switch is necessary, because at full bore, if another ball was to come down and hit this flipper while it was energized, like while you were cradling some balls, the hold power is not enough to keep the flipper energized, and it'll just fall because the computer has no idea that the flipper had changed states at that point, right? So only the first couple games operated without end-of-stroke switches. Very soon after this, they realized, oh crap, we have to put those back on. Yeah. Anyways, I like these. I just love solid state. So rad.
Nice font.
Yeah, good font, good graphic design. All these things pivot nicely, but I will grease the pivot point on these things to keep them happy. I'll also grease the pivot point on the ball serve, the one that kicks it from the out hole into the in waiting. And remember, we're just greasing, or when I say grease, I'm also using oil, but we're just oiling this pivot point right here. They do get gunky, and it is good to take them apart, clean them if they're really bad, and then drop a couple drops of oil in there, and you have perfect operation. Other oil points on this game would be here, right? Just the actual hard pivot point.
Nice.
And less is more when you are using lubricants, especially in a pinball game. So 1 or 2 drips, and those are the only places you would ever lubricate. So let's go back to the top. Let's also not break that ramp. Hey, thankfully there's new ramps available soon, so if I did break that ramp, I know where to get them.
That would be terrible.
No, it really wouldn't. It would be great.
Formerly known as green cam over to...
Formerly known as green cam?
Yeah, see, you looked at it. You remember who
well,
green cam
but
was.
this one is blue cam because it has the blue tie on it.
Oh. I thought blue cam was the one on the blue tripod.
Well, fine.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, fine.
Oh boy.
It's going to be blue cam.
I know what we're doing after the show.
Yeah.
Labeling.
Labeling cameras.
Labeling cameras. Finding the road bike. What oil are you using? Asked Colin Baxter.
Just lightweight motor oil stuff. I'll show you what I use, and then I just use whatever cheap oil I can find anywhere to refill it. But really...
Some canola.
Yeah, no, avocado. It's more my speed.
I like coconut oil, preferably.
The Zoom Spout oiler. These things are great. You can get them at like a good Napa hardware will have one of these things. But the great thing about it is... Focus. Yeah, focus for this. It's going to be worth it.
All right, hold on. Wait. Oh, there we go. Oof, beautiful. Okay, ready. Ready for the money shot. Whoa!
Yeah.
That got long fast.
That's what she said.
My.
So you've got a great, it's good at getting around and getting into places you need. There's a nice cap with a place to store it, and it's handy. And I'll just fill it with 1040, 1030, whatever, just cheap dyno oil, just to get things moving.
Can you put the bottle back in? Show us the label. Okay. I mean, it did, right, y'all? Zoom spout oil. Cool, nice.
Oh.
It extends and retracts. It's good stuff.
It's pretty rad. Fliptronic says, "Hey Kyle, I just popped in some new X-Files sound ROMs I just got from y'all. Now there's zero sound." First thing to check, make sure that you have the ROMs inserted correctly. Make sure that you are not missing one leg or two legs out of the socket. I know that sounds like a cop-out, but it is entirely possible that it happens to me all the time. All legs are good. Send me a picture with all the checksums, and I'll make sure that they all got burnt right. You're not replacing them because the old ones weren't working, right? Are they a different version than what you have now, too? I'll get you fixed up. Don't worry.
Yeah, I said the old ones were glitchy.
2 of 3 were. Can you try installing the one that worked? Are they the same version? I would see, maybe you got one bad ROM, but
Yeah, try them one at a time for sure.
Yeah, trying one at a time is a good way to do it if they're the same version. But if not, send me a picture of the ROMs and I'll double check the checksums to make sure that they got burnt right. No, I have the version 1.0 X-Files everything. Mine had the original stuff in it. It was trippy because I was playing it and I was like, man, things sound different. There's not as many sounds. Like, what happened to the X-Files trivia mode? And then I realized that it was running like super old software. And I updated everything, and now it is how I remember it.
Nice.
Nice. Cool. Cool story, bro. What does David say? You guys should start the stream at 2:45 each week and just spend the first 15 minutes troubleshooting mics and cameras. What do you mean?
It's okay.
That's what we do already.
We spend like 2 hours troubleshooting everything before the show. There's a lot of prep work involved.
I kind of don't want to upgrade our equipment ever again because what we had before was fine. And now we've got all sorts.
These cameras are so much better.
No, I know. They're incredible. I'm just being a wiener.
We can actually get inside the cabinet and see with light.
With light. Lights, camera,
The
and
entire show
that's
is
a good point,
troubleshooting
Jaded,
session.
yeah.
Oh, man.
No, he doesn't mean it that way. He means
Are we
PinTech.
really that bad?
No, PinTech is
Dang,
troubleshooting.
We're all going to get fired.
No, that's not what he means.
Don't be so hard on yourself. We rule.
We're troubleshooting pinball. Oh, okay. I get the joke. Yeah.
We're not really doing much troubleshooting today. We're just trying to reassemble the damn thing. I think next week, especially if I can actually be...
Eat my shorts.
if I can get bestowed some more time here to work on this thing, next week we will be doing some actual troubleshooting, and hopefully we will have Kelly here to do some of the work. Kelly is...
Should we have her do a flipper rebuild?
Yes.
And you walk us through it?
Well, maybe. We will do something. This game doesn't really feel like it needs a flipper rebuild, but I want her to do work. We used to do this thing where I would take the people in the company that didn't know a lot.
Flipper bat swap out, right? Those bats are kind of...
Yeah, I'm going to take these and keep them for posterity because they're beautiful. But yeah, they probably should be taken out because they'll break. But I used to do this thing where I'd bring people in the company that don't know much about pinball over here, and we'd do like some one-on-one coaching and show them pinball. And I remember one week I had Kelly come over here. She's one of our customer service people. And, you know, she was very apt and very eager to learn. I was like, well, let's just do this then. And we rebuilt the flippers on my TNA. I did one side, and she did the other side without asking a single question, and she did it perfectly. And I was very impressed.
And the other side works better than the side Kyle did.
Yes, it does. No, I can't. I have to give myself some credit, too. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
We have a question, Kyle, from HadOJ. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, no. Where'd you go? He said, I have an out-hole kicker on a Data East game that has started to get too weak to kick the ball all the way up that little ramp. It just keeps trying until it gives up. It's a new one I bought from Marco. What are some things I could investigate? Which game is it?
A new and a new what? A new plunger, a new there's a few bits to that which we need to address. But yeah, let me know what you bought new.
Yeah.
U21 was
That's it for
correct.
Lansky too. What did you get? Fliptronic said the U21 was corrupt.
The one that we sent to you?
This was the Fliptronic.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
oh, okay.
because I'll get one of those out to you tomorrow. Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
Okay, we'll get back to you in 1 second, Jordan. Back to the Future, whole thing. Okay, so the things you're going to want to check, even though it's new, did you tighten everything down? Is the coil stop actually tight? If the coil stop isn't tight, then you might have things either the plunger might have to be pulled at an angle or something like that, and that could cause weakness. So I would want you to first inspect that. The second thing you might want to check out is going to be, I'm trying to remember how those are wired. I mean, I guess I could look at this because it's not going to be too different. I'd want to make sure that there's no connector in between. Maybe you've got a bad bit of contact between the connector and the wires running to the actual coil. Why did you replace the whole thing? I think also is a question we need to ask. If you replace the whole unit under the assumption that putting a new unit in there would fix the problem, then we know the problem isn't with that unit. It's possibly in the head, right? Maybe we've got bad connectors on your PPB board. Maybe you've got bad connectors on the drive from the computer. Maybe you've got a failing drive. These are all things that are very possible. But that's a good one. I like these sorts of questions because those are fun issues to solve. They're very gratifying.
So it's an out-hole ball return assembly from Data East.
Yeah.
It's the same one that Alvin G used
Midge, if you want to pull that part number up,
Yeah, I've got
show
it.
them on the big
Got it.
screen.
Oh yeah, it's the same thing
I
that
guess I
this
could've
thing is
pulled it up
too,
on this.
right?
I don't think that one's used in The Simpsons, but we have the Alvin G one.
Look at this old school California Extreme shirt.
with the Alvin G coil, but they're exactly the same as the Data East
Yeah.
ones. Yeah.
Well, I think the thing is if it's doing the exact same thing as your old one and you replace the out-hole kicker unit to try to solve that issue, then we know the issue isn't with the mechanical bit. It's most likely something going on back here. So let's open this up in just a second. I think I've got this kind of pinned down enough. I'm just looking for a washer that doesn't exist, so I'm going to stop looking for it. I do remember that this game had some pretty crappy hardware, and I've thrown most of that away.
Like I Spy.
It is. These new lights you installed in Moto are great, and I don't feel like I need the house lights on, so thank you. That's a loud Slack message. I can't find that screw. Okay, whatever. I don't need it. Screw it, right? Let's look at the back box. And maybe we should look at the schematic really quick. Let's familiarize ourselves with these computers really quick too. Lamp matrix. We were talking about lamp matrix issues on a Data East. Failed diodes, failed drivers. Those are all things that could cause odd things. It's more likely that we have a failed diode elsewhere, but we have to check everything. We need to figure out on that Back to the Future if your out-hole kicker is a special solenoid, which are driven here, or if it's a standard solenoid, which are all driven down here. Some of these things look like they've gotten hot. Well, this one's been replaced. It's also really loose. I want to look at that. But we have to see, some of these signals do travel from here into here. Let's look at the schematic really quick before we hit. It's more fun. I like schematics, and people need to learn to be more comfortable. Actually, this manual might not have the schematic in it. I need to get good manuals for every game in this building. Here's the display. That is the overall wiring.
So for this, you might want to turn off that ring light on your.
Sure. Yeah, give me 1 second
handheld.
while I
It's twisted.
look where everything is, though. That's like the main wiring diagram, and then we get into this. So I actually don't have a schematic. Let's do this. Next week, please pose that question for me again, and we will have a proper schematic where we can actually look through and figure out where that wiring goes through. If I remember right, and don't take this as gospel, you could be having connection problems here. You maybe have a little bit of cracked solder or something nasty going on here. Look at your fuses also. Maybe there's so many things to look at. Are there anything else in that game that's doing anything weird? Because a loosey-goosey fuse connection can cause weird, low-power things to happen. But right now, look at these connectors. Look at this connector. Look at this connector. Make sure that they're not compromised. This connector.
Yeah, and he says it wasn't having this issue before the new parts were installed.
Huh. Well, then that's an odd one. I mean, and I
Yeah.
guess at the end of, and not to sound snarky, but why did you replace it then? Just curious.
That was snarky.
No. I'm just curious why it was
I
replaced.
put in our Discord group too. If you're on Discord and want to join us there, you can send us pictures, and there's a lot of people in that group as it's growing.
Yeah, it's
Mr.
fun.
Valansky,
If you do join
you
us
feel
on
about
Discord, you can
Discord?
continuously
We should
bother me
join.
about it.
we want you in there.
I've noticed, like,
And
oh, go ahead. Oh,
What are
I'm
you
sitting
saying?
now. You can change cameras. It's like almost 5, right?
Yeah, 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, let's open it up to discussion for a second then.
Kyle's just sitting down, chilling now.
I did
Zoom in
something
on
to
him.
my back
Zoom in on his.
in the last 1.5
Face.
hours, and it's like really hurting me right now, so I need to sit.
Zoom.
Howdy. Look at this California Extreme shirt. This is like 2017. That was the No Fear year. That was a fun one. Oh,
Oh man, I'm getting out of here.
we were so
Alternate angle.
spoiled
Kyle,
with that old camera.
Now look at blue tripod camera when you talk.
Hi.
Hi.
I kind of want to be able to look at the chat though.
Let's zoom him in. Look at that guy.
Ugh.
So, Kyle, going back real quick, we had another question that we scrolled past. Ziltoid was an alien on Twitch says, how do you replace Sega 47 lamp sockets that are stapled and glued in under the playfield?
Whoa. Stapled and
a good
glued
one.
in? Dang, that's double. Well, I could say like the snarky answer would be to unstaple them and then re-glue them and staple them, but I don't know which ones you're talking about. I've never come in contact with, or I've never seen a lamp socket that was stapled and glued in. If it was just like if it was a stapled in one that would just had like flat leads, what I would normally do is use something to pry the staple up gently, but not remove it from the wood all the way, if you can. So then you can remove the lamp socket, install a new one, and then press the staples back in. Even if you do remove it from the wood all the way, you can generally line up the hole again and then press it in with a screwdriver and your thumb. But glued in.
They're on Baywatch.
Really? Where?
And Batman Forever.
Ooh. Oh, we don't talk about that game. But Baywatch, we do talk about that one.
It's just called Forever, right?
It's-
It doesn't say Batman, it just says Forever.
Yeah,
I
it
can
does,
hear
huh?
you guys now, by the way. I fixed my user error on
Oh,
Zoom.
awesome. Fantastic.
Good.
Cool.
That's great. I'm gonna
Yeah,
quit
it's
looking
not
for that
15
mic
minutes of
then.
the show, and now I can actually join the conversation. So this is great. Having a great time.
Wait, are you talking about the snowball mic? Because I have the snowball mic at my house.
No, it was a new mic that Paul had brought for us.
Got it. Okay, sorry.
It's a little flat pancake mic.
You know
but
what?
It's okay.
I'm gonna wait. All GI likes are like that on the early Segas. Man, I really don't remember. Let me here. I'll go
let's
poke.
take a trip. Let's take a trip. Bring the camera.
No,
Bring my
it's too
little
dark
C
over
camera.
here.
No, we have a ring light. Don't leave us.
Hold on. Well, I can't open the game. There's too much in the way.
Yeah, look, made save today. He just followed him.
Well, but there's nothing to see. I can't open the game up.
It's fun. Look, we're looking at the top of your new haircut.
Ugh. There's I can't see any of the GI lights. I don't remember them being stapled and glued in, so I'm sorry, but I will try to get a good answer for you next time, because I should open up this poor old game at some point. Thanks for following me with the camera. I feel like a superstar.
What do you mean feel like one? You are one.
Wow, thanks. I'm a superstar in your eyes. Weird. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm sorry. I don't know. It's kind of funny. For whatever reason, my customers never would have early Sega games. Like,
I like Batman Forever.
Most of the stuff that I ever worked on was always, it's all WPC and it's all really old stuff. I never really got tons of those Sega games, which is a disappointment because they're kind of a joy to work on. Sort of.
Nice. So we are in the last 15 minutes. If anyone else has questions for Kyle in the chat about stuff you're stuck on with your games, let us know. In the meantime, wanted to remind all the pinball technicians that are in our chat and are watching, have you joined our technician database yet? And if not, you should. We use this as a way to help our customers in your local region find technicians to come fix their games, so it can help you.
Help us help you.
And it just helps pinball in general. Keeps everyone repairing stuff. So I'm going to link to that.
Help us help you.
Kyle, are you in the database yet?
Probably not.
That's ridiculous. Lead by example. Join the database today.
Well, if you put it that way, then absolutely.
That was like a Fallout campaign.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, I'm posting it.
I really, really wish I
have enough work to do on my own pins. Yeah.
Knew about those stapled in sockets now. I feel weird. That's something
yeah,
I should
Volansky
know.
About the stapled in sockets said perhaps they were stapled in and glued by the last person who tried to fix something. Always remember, you are always not the first to try to fix a game.
I wanted to say something like that, but I was not 100% sure. It just doesn't seem like something that would be factory. Would be like a hot glue blob, but.
I missed Colin calling you out saying, come on, the lockdown bar is already off. Pull the glass and lift the playfield.
Well, then I need to move Jungle Lord, and then I get to get all the loose stuff off.
Yeah, look how comfy he is right there.
I'm comfy. My back hurts. I don't know what I did, but I hurt my back earlier today, and now it's paying the price.
Probably lifting that pencil.
Welcome back, Mr. Loaf. Mr. Loaf wants to know what the ETA is on the new pin skates. Good question.
I don't know. Did Marco tell you about the ETA? No, he was talking to Ryan about it. I don't know.
Yeah,
but don't order anything. Like when I get those, and if I figure out when I'm going to get them, I will give you your complimentary free shipping that you may have used this time. But yes, they're going to be good. Upgraded pin skates are going to be awesome. They will be upgraded basically with all the things that I said everyone else should upgrade their pin skates with. Extra holes, something to keep the skates from scratching your shiny powder coaty legs. Hopefully better casters, I hope. I think pin skate casters are designed to fail after like 9 months when you use them outside. When you use them inside, they last forever. But as soon as you bring them onto the asphalt, they get chunky. But yeah, that'll hopefully happen soon. And also, hopefully we have the glass for your game. I'm sorry to see your haunted house glass exploded into a billion pieces. But
yeah, see, these are all things that are happening in our Discord channel. So if you guys want to join in on those after-hour conversations, you can see things like Mr. Loaf's first glass explosion, and
I remember my first glass explosion. That was fun.
Oh yeah, tell us that story.
It's not very interesting. It's just you're like taking the glass out, and then I thought that I was putting it on my boot, but one end ended up on my boot, and the other one very quickly went against the floor, and it just. That was annoying.
I don't like it.
I've never broken glass in a game before. I've had to clean up people's messes from glass breaking in games, but I think I've only actually ever broken 2 sheets of glass.
Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah. What? Oh, I was looking at you. It's just. Can we read this?
Midge,
Don't.
actually can you walk
No.
over there to
Yeah,
that
yeah, I'm
camera
getting
and
ready
straighten
to.
it out?
Yeah.
Just because it's driving me crazy. You just need to kick one of the legs down.
I kind of want it next to the TV so I can read the chat too, because there's a lot going on over here.
Maybe we can move the TV over to this side.
That'll block off the pile.
Does that look better?
No.
Weird.
Okay, I'm gonna read the chat while he's
raise
adjusting.
the left tripod stick up.
What
I
is
don't know.
your-
Somehow it just got crooked.
What is your opinion on Bally's Popeye? Okay, my opinion on Bally's Popeye is if they would have made Popeye to Python's
Right?
original vision, it would be infinitely better. You might ask, what the hell are you talking about, Kyle? Python's original vision. Well, Steve turned me on to this. Go to IPDB right now, go to Popeye's page, and read Python's idea of what the game should be.
His original proposal is insanely awesome.
Insane. Not only is it
really?
insanely awesome, it is also insane
Emphasis on the insane.
and awesome. Python was a very unique, special, creative person. I'm reading some stuff now. Thoughts and prayers to the glass, yeah.
You can talk to this camera.
Over
green
here?
cam.
I can talk to this
Talk
camera.
to green cam.
Or blue cam.
Hi. Hit the button.
I'm finally taller than Kyle.
Oh,
So
hey,
we
I see a
set up
service switch
giant-
button. Hold on.
A giant screen so he could read the chat and not disappear. And it's obviously not in the best place for him. Because look, I lost Kyle. Which
I'm coming
camera
back.
is he in, guys? Nope, not on
No, I
that
just
one.
saw a good question.
Nope, not on that one. Oh, there he is.
That one. Williams service switches? It's going to be dark because the lights
Oh.
aren't back here.
No, it's great.
Oh, yeah, listen to Nolan. Listen to Popeye's interview that he did with Clay Harrell. It's insane. Anyways, these service switches, you can actually, I don't remember how this works, but
Those are
just
cool.
bear with me for a second. Take a meter and figure out, right, you're going to have these things attached to your game, and you're going to have like one wire soldered here and like one here. I think that these two are tied together. So you can actually, if you put your meter and figure out when this thing is down, which other ones make connection, you can actually move one of those wires to a different position, and you can kind of get a little bit more life out of your service switches. Or you can just buy new ones because they're pretty and they will work for another 30-something years without having to jimmy rig wires in places they aren't supposed to be. So I guess that's the thing, is like, I know these things from doing quick fixes on location, but they're not necessarily the best actual solution. I would definitely recommend just buying new ones. And that was for Heat Sanctions on YouTube. Okay, then Nolan said that. That is insane. You really need to read his thing and then listen to his interview, and it will just blow your mind. Actually, the best pinball podcast of all time is in my opinion, is Clay Harrell's podcast from like 13, 14 years ago. It's great because he talks to a lot of these people that were, very fresh out of the end of the industry. Listening to George Gomez talk in 2007 is a lot different than listening to George Gomez talk now. Not that it's, what he talks about now is worse. It's just, it's very different, right? And his feelings on the pinball industry, etc. Being so fresh, freshly removed from, his passion at Williams. Anyways, but it's neat too because Clay interviewed a lot of like not mechanical engineers, but like software guys, right? Like the people who did the dot matrix animations. His interviews with Dan Forden and Chris Granner incredible. There's the people that did a lot of music in pinball, and listening to like the constrictions and constraints that the old hardware had. It's so sad to hear like Chris Granner says that he can never play Twilight Zone because of what it was supposed to sound like. If Twilight Zone actually got the DCS sound system, how much better that game was. He says he cannot play or enjoy it in its released iteration. It's like, what if, right? Like, what was it supposed to sound like? Yeah, anyways, go listen to that. It's great. Clay is awesome.
All right, here's a question.
Don't listen
Do you
to
know
the,
what the
never mind, I'm not gonna say it.
Do you know what the TY, FF, and ASI on the Data East flipper board stand for?
Yeah, but
Yes.
we can't discuss
Can
it
I
right
say
now.
it?
No, you can't say it.
Can I get a
A
get out of
bleep?
jail?
Can we get a bleep?
Okay, supposedly it's supposed to stand for take your beeping flipper and shove it, which was we've talked
It's
about.
written on the board?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the TIFASI board. But again, it's not. That's not. It's not supposed to be that, but it probably is. That's what the acronym I think is, or everyone thinks is.
I think it's been confirmed.
Yeah, I think there have been people who have confirmed that. But Williams patented everything, and to get around these patents, like you needed to do all sorts of strange
You
things.
set us up for that one for months.
Jump through hoops, and Williams had whatchamacallit, had patented the solid state flipper. So yeah, anyways, Data East came up with their own way of doing it and gave that nice message to Williams. EYFASI.
FASI. Wow. The more you know.
TIFASI.
Her says that I can say it out loud, so take your... No, I'm just kidding.
No, he says
No,
you can't.
he said you
Oh,
can't.
can't.
See, we gotta push that giant 50-inch screen closer to you.
I'm just a grandpa. I can't see anything. My glasses are bad.
Or we can swap your work table next week onto the other side.
That doesn't work because most inserts don't open that way. So it's much easier to have my tools and everything over here while working on the game.
Do that. All right, let's move the table over and block all the games that are
And we'll figure
in
something out.
storage.
We'll figure something out.
Okay, Kyle, what is the best answer to the Judge Dredd Dead World motor issues? Go.
Just deal with it. I mean, I don't know. It's like,
Goodness.
what is
Get
the
better
issue?
glasses.
I mean, it's like Judge Dredd is a weird game that never worked right from the factory anyways, but it's just, what is the issue that I'm supposed to answer on? Because otherwise I just say deal with it. I mean, like, it doesn't lock the balls, right? Unless you have the fancy Judge Dredd. I mean, it's kind of neat that the motor turns, but what?
Ziltoid says, fair enough.
What is the issue? Do you have a motor that's constantly burning out, or what? I know that's a very expensive motor. That and Dog Soccer, I think, are like two of the most expensive motors that we can get. But it's a very complicated, unique shaft. The transfer case is weird. It's a very odd motor, but I haven't heard of them failing at an obscene rate. But have they failed on you often?
That's the same as a Planet motor on our website, right?
They lock
Yeah, it's
up and
the-
all
the
seem to
Dead
fail.
World motor
Can you say
is-
that?
Right. Yeah. Ours are better than the originals.
I don't know much about ours.
I
but
just linked to it, but ours are great quality and they tend to last for a long time.
Yeah, I see. That's the thing I'm thinking. I don't know any problems with like. Well, I didn't know if you were like addressing it to us, like if with our product, or if you were talking about like the 30-year-old motor in the game. But, I mean, yeah, it's a 30-year-old motor. They die. The new one is extraordinarily expensive, but it is a very unique motor, right? It has a lot of unique pieces, but I've never heard of them fail. I've installed many of them over the years into customers' games and haven't seen an issue. The reason a lot of those things fail isn't because the motor goes bad, but it's actually the box. The motor spins, and then there's a series of gears, like your transmission in your car, that will dictate an output
The Wisp. You made it.
and output speed. And what ends up happening is, like, after 30 years, like, the grease that they put inside of those gears to keep things moving nicely, it starts to, you know, cake up and turn into solid grease. And then when you try to get your weak motor to turn gears encased in solid grease, it pops. So
The gears strip too, pretty often.
yeah, I think the main gear, well, but it's also usually, yeah, it can be caused, but it's usually caused because there's not enough lubrication. Like, two things of metal that are well lubricated can intermesh and they won't wear at each other, but when the lubricating friction, like, wow.
Did you turn off your mic? Did you just die?
Oh, it's still playing.
Oh, no. It was just Strugger. DeWisp is here, so we can do our last question, which was Colin's question saying, what are you guys drinking tonight for beer o'clock?
I think I've got a couple of the Wicked Weed Freak of Natures in my fridge at home. I told Colin I'd send him some. I keep drinking all the ones I buy for him.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to happen, Colin. It will, sooner or
Yeah,
later.
that's so weird. You did die. Your mic died, Kyle.
Fever looks good. Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I can see my levels.
Can you hear me, Himoto?
No, all of a sudden Streamlabs was like,
Hold on.
later. It's been charging.
Tell everyone.
Yeah, just not Kyle. Well, Kyle, it's the end of the show anyways.
Here, use my
We really
mic, Kyle.
appreciate y'all joining us. Kyle can come in front of the camera and wave. Next week we'll be doing more Simpsons. I'm going to set up some giveaways
Wait.
for next week too.
Himoto, stop
to have
moving the
some
mouse.
fun stuff
Hold on.
going on.
Stop moving it. Stop moving.
Oh, sorry. I was moving his mouse. That's you.
Hello.
I see you. You guys can hear Midge, right?
Yeah, just me, huh? No Kyle. But now
Well,
you can hear
Midge,
me
you've
also
been
because I
hired. You're
reset
the new host of the show.
I knew this day was coming.
Steve is now the boss. Okay.
DeWisp is drinking Wheezin' the Juice by Grand Armory Brewing.
Nice. I'm probably going to drink some more Beer Keller, delicious German beers. No, it's working now, right? Yeah.
Oh no, you can't ask questions right at the end.
Yes, you can.
According to the MFR, the original Planet motor was poorly designed. The new design has more robust gears and brass components for longer wear.
Correct.
That was
Yes.
MGM Studios in regards to the
Oh, yeah, I guess I don't have to tell him he's
motor.
right.
He's the one who probably got it done
yeah,
better.
he is
so
the one that got
He's
it
the
done.
supreme
Yeah.
OG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, no, just replace your old crappy motor and just put a new one in, and you're good to go.
Oh no.
Like I said, I've never ever known the replacements to be bad, so I was kind of I don't know. I wanted to give a snarky response because that seems to be the MOD
No
today.
snarks.
Yeah, when we
Colin
send
will be
Colin,
posting pics in Discord momentarily of his cerveza. And 808, you should join our Discord. You got lots of questions, and we're out of time today. So join our Discord, and we all might be able to band together and help you out. The royal we.
it's like the only Discord that I don't have muted. I want to see what everyone has to say.
All right, so ending the show for everyone that's on Twitch, we are going to do a friendly raid to someone. Do we want to go to Laserlos, which I believe we have never raided before?
No, we
Or
have.
do we go to Elvira's House of Horrors Mystery Pinball Theater?
I rated
2000.
Laser Los while you were out, so we've done it before, but we can do it again.
Okay, so do you guys want to see Nightmare? Alice Cooper's Nightmare. I was going to say Nightmare Before Christmas. Alice Cooper's Nightmare or Elvira's House of Horrors? House
Alice
of
Cooper
Horrors,
is a great
Nolan,
game.
808, House of Horrors. All right. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Mystery Pinball Theater 3000. They
Thanks
got
for
some
letting me
great
be
masks
snarky today
going
and
on.
not get mad at me. It was very enjoyable. I had to let off a little bit of stressors from things that happened earlier today, so it was great.
Oh, it was good. It was a good show. Sorry for our tech errors. Show is getting bigger and better. So thank you for keeping with us, everyone.
Yes, thank you very much. It's like
Yeah.
we are technically
To
on
Wispy, we're
season 2
late.
now, right?
We are very disappointed
yeah,
in
your
you.
haircut.
Yeah, with a new layout and everything,
Yeah.
kind of.
And I didn't burn myself with Kyle soldering iron today. So.
Ah, Kyle.
Oh, I still feel bad.
You should.
I hope I have this scar for the rest of my life.
It'll go away in about a week. Don't worry. Yeah, I just need to remember that not everyone is at eye level with me, and things that I put up here are not visible to people whose eyes are not up here. So, my bad.
It's all good. It was fun. All right. We're going to raid, and we will see everyone next week. Bye.
Peter saying.
I'm going to put that. Raid, raid, raid. Look, we're still here. Oh, no. Don't pick your nose. Not yet.